What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Jedi Jive. My name is Mike, and joining us, as always, is my sister Jenny.
Hey, everyone.
We are reacting to Andor. We are on to the third arc in Season 2, so episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Wow.
We were just talking about the episode lengths. They've been super consistent all season, and this looks like we have an hour-long episode to cap it off tonight.
Which we love. It's lots of great content to enjoy.
Yeah. We were also talking about how all of the different characters kind of have their unique storylines and their unique perspectives on this current time in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Even though it's Andor, it really seems like all of the other characters are like where we're seeing the evolution and development going on. Andor, Cassian himself seems like he's kind of gotten to a point where he's who he is when we meet him in Rogue One. Like, he's not...
Yeah. Well, and on that note, it needs to be about more than just him, because the great irony of this show is that we already know how this character dies.
Yeah, yeah.
And to make it sort of worthwhile, this isn't just his personal history. It's a history of the growth of the rebellion. It's a history of the growth of the Empire. It's a history of, like, them growing together and apart. Yeah. You know, and it's doing everything. We're about to jump forward another year.
That's right.
Where we left off... Bix was in bad shape. She was doing drugs to numb her pain. Yep. Willman was huffing chemicals with Saw Gerrera.
Yep.
Gorman was... All hell was about to break loose over there.
Yep. And then Clea just barely got that
listening device
out of Dallas Golden's
house.
Collection. Yeah, that was an absolutely amazing scene. All of the tension that they built up in that. And I mean, after last week, Clea is like...
Certified badass. Yeah.
Certified. What did you say? You said she had like ice running through her veins.
Yeah, ice water running through her veins.
Just like the way she like got Lonnie to cooperate. Like, and
she had blood literally running down her hand, and she didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah, so I love that. Cool. I love that the side characters are really just like where like so much of the meat is this season that it's, you know, you really get to enjoy so many different, like all of the individual little people that make up the cogs that make the machine go round. In this, like, you get to see everybody's unique perspective, and I'm like characters like Cyril Karn and Dedra Meero, who are like Empire, and they're, you know, currently, as we've known them so far, like on the bad guy side. Like,
you still kind of want to root for them.
Yeah, you're like, way. I love these characters.
Yeah,
like,
they're such well drawn and well acted characters. They're very complete as people, and you just really want to find out what's going to happen next for them.
Yeah, and then like things like Cinta's death last week is just like more. You know, we have Brasso dying and then Cinta dying, and it's just like the human. It's not just like a death toll, but like the toll in general is just like it's heavy all around. Yeah. Whether it's Bix on drugs and crashing out, strung out, and you know, or
we're
it's
seeing like many different examples of the consequences of war.
Yeah, Luthen being like this close to having his whole operation blown up in his face by one piece of so it's just so many exciting things happening. I think a lot of excitement is going to come in these next 3 episodes, and
I'm ready.
A lot of the preparation we've been footing in the first 6 episodes is going to pay off in this arc.
I'm so ready.
It feels like a setup. And speaking of feels like a setup, I definitely feel like they've set it up now for Cyril Karn to turn to the rebellion.
Once again, I don't know, but
find his own
love
purpose,
and
it's not gonna be under the thumb of his mother or Dedra. It's gonna be like he's gonna have his own view for once.
I would be very excited to see that.
Cool. All right, guys, let's jump in. We'll have some fun with the episode 7, 8, and 9, and then we can't wait to hear what you thought about afterwards. So let's jump in and let's have some fun.
Let's do it.
Man,
a lot can happen in a year.
A lot. Yeah, then. Okay, here we go.
It's getting real.
Yeah, there it is. They're just here now. This is it.
Yep. Creeping on up on Rogue One.
Wow, look at that.
What'd he do to himself?
Take your shirt off.
Ooh.
Blaster. Got grazed by a blaster, maybe?
Oh.
Look at this.
Here. You check in?
Not yet.
Things are getting really organized around here.
Tell me. Luthen wants to know if you're ready to work.
Ready for what?
Luthen is making things happen.
Is he? Novi, there was a firebombing last night at the naval terminal in Palmo. You can see behind me smoke still rising from the site.
So this is a full military occupation at this point.
Tyson is expected to comment later today, but we've already seen an escalated response.
The like news pundit, like reporter guy.
Yep.
Claim of credit from any local terrorist groups. You can feel this city tightening up.
He's looking a little haunted.
What does he need me for?
ISB Supervisor Dejamira. She destroyed Ferrix. She killed my father. You know her? She's there in Gorman. In the open, I've seen her. And she's there waiting to be killed, and I know you're gonna say it's for revenge, but it's not. She's been coming after him, and you, and all of us, and everyone we know. She keeps winning. You know she has to be stopped.
You need to calm down and check in.
She's a monster. We won't have a better chance.
The Emperor has taken a great interest in the situation. We are moving forward with the original plan.
There is apparently no suitable replacement or synthetic alternative for the Gorman substrate material.
I see.
I don't know the science, but it's bad luck, Gorman.
We need what's in the ground, and when we're done, there won't be much left to call home.
Just
Casually planning for the
genocide.
destruction of a whole planet.
We'll need a declaration of martial domain as soon as possible.
What I need now is some clarity on how exactly...
Detra, calmly.
You've done excellent work bringing this forward. Everyone that matters knows how well you've played this.
Bombing at the naval depot. I can't even get in there.
There's evidence of outside agitators.
Wow.
That is what I've been trying to do since I got here. That is what you told me you wanted, and now there's evidence I have to beg for?
We are trying to prevent an incident.
Like keeping me in the dark. What am I doing here?
Cyril, please. You need to go home and pack and be ready to leave when I tell you. Good things are waiting for us. We'll be out of here soon, and we'll be together. We'll be rewarded.
For what? What have we accomplished?
Be careful. Do what I told you.
Wow. He is bristling at this.
Yeah,
he wants
okay.
more information. He wants to know what he's doing.
We'll walk. It's just they're asking for schedules this week. Parking and movement.
Oh, ridiculous. I'll speak to them. Thank you. I'm requesting a new driver.
Don't. They might send someone smart.
Any news?
Only bad news for the Gormans.
This bombing last night.
They have no shame, do they? They don't even bother to lie badly anymore.
Right.
I came here to thank you, Mon. Your constant courage. The brave face you put to the world. Protect yourself.
Shit's getting real.
Dude, she is a monster.
That's what we were talking about last week. If you lose your
You're
calming
gonna-
purpose, your sense of why you started this,
Why are
then
you
what are you
fighting?
fighting for?
What?
You could have just asked me. Here.
What's the harm?
Is it some kind of faith healer?
Training up.
She hated force
She
healers.
needed one force healer.
Force
to-
healer.
Oh.
Doesn't mean the whole thing's a scam. They wouldn't be faking something if it never worked.
Why not?
Like we know force healing actually is a thing though.
Yeah,
This lady could still be a scammer though.
right.
What is this?
I don't know.
You set this up.
No. Who are you?
Nobody. We're just leaving.
Can you wait? Please.
See you back there.
He's got a blaster burn that's not healing.
Okay, yeah, I was right.
Yeah.
May I?
Thank you.
Thank you for what?
The clarity. It's been a very long time. I thought it had gone for good. So easy to lose faith. The strength of spirit. Surely you must feel it.
I'll work on that.
You saw something.
Why do you keep pushing? I asked you not to do this. Stay if you want.
Tell me what you saw.
I sense the weight of things. Pain, fear, need. He's a messenger. There's some place he needs to be. Maybe you're the place he needs to be.
Enza,
Don't you know there's a curfew?
I needed to see you. I think there's a way out of this before things go too far. My people are convinced you're being coordinated by outside agitators. We could lay this off on outsiders, then...
Completely missing the point, Cyril.
It's ridiculous.
She knew you were there. She felt it from across the yard. She wasn't making that up. That wasn't a scam.
What was it then?
I don't even think she knows. But it happened, and I could sense it, and I'm not afraid to say that. She called you a messenger. I've had dreams like that.
Why are you doing this?
I know you felt something. That's why you're so upset.
The music did a tiny little hint of a Force theme for a second. It's the Force is acting on everything.
Find an exit plan.
Without a destination.
It's a personal trip.
That is unacceptable and you know it. This isn't a base for
Now this feels like Rogue One.
Clear! The day I need permission to come and go, I'm gone.
That day is near.
Cool.
Left! Turn!
They look like children.
Quick! Bombs!
What are you doing?
What?
Look where you're going.
You said come in low, right? You okay?
Yeah.
Man, great audio.
Hello.
And you?
Haven't seen you in a while.
Is that Vel?
I think so.
They sent me to talk to you. They need him, Biggs. They're on the verge of promoting him, and then he goes and does something like this morning. Cassian is a leader now. We've all given so much. A little discipline doesn't seem too much to ask.
He'll be there when you need him.
Wow.
Yikes.
I've got to
He's
get going.
gonna run right
the comms
into
on
Cyril and
Test
Dedra
testing.
if he's not extra careful.
Left. She's in there. She sleeps in the building.
I think that's kind of the point.
I mean, it's kind of the point, but like also they know who he is.
Yeah.
And this place is crawling with
He's there to
Imperial
kill her,
troops.
right? Isn't that what they want to do?
Yeah. It's that same guy.
Good job.
He doesn't recognize him?
I mean, I'm sure he sees a lot of customers.
He
This
was
is a
also
year
there in the
ago.
group of like Gorman rebels, so
Perfect.
Well, his father was killed by Grand Moff Tarkin.
Can be loud. She will report it. We turn over our guest list each afternoon.
Good to know.
You'll have to carry your own bag this time. You know the way.
He does remember him.
yeah, he's letting them get away with it. Huh. Nice. The spy briefcase. Oh, is he listening to like guards talking? Yeah. A couple of stormtroopers. Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like stormtroopers.
The episode's gonna end here.
What's with the build up there? It's just like what's he thinking there?
I'm not sure.
Like the music was like building up, and it's like, well, what's he thinking?
Down.
What's his like hesitation? What's his
I don't
thought
know.
process
Something's
there?
been bugging him, but
Because he like, let's see, he looked across the way, he was like looking through his little thing, and then he like listened to a couple of stormtroopers, and then he just kind of like started stressing
it's like he's waiting for the perfect moment or something.
Yeah,
But-
maybe that's
so
it.
he's in theory here to kill Dedra.
Yeah.
But I also think there's great danger in the fact that Dedra and Cyril both know who he is, and this place is crawling with Imperial troops.
Yeah, I mean, Axis was Dedra's
her big
thing to begin
white
with.
whale. Yeah.
Yeah, so like this is like all stems from Cassian to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he's like Cyril's nemesis. Like, Cyril lost his job and was thrown out of his corporate position in shame because of Cassian.
I don't know, although now it seems like
know?
anything's possible with Cyril because he was definitely...
Cyril was bristling under the influence of Dedra a little bit because she like grabbed him and kissed him, and he was kind of like flustered by that.
She
and
was like, we're gonna get like rewarded for our accomplishments.
Yeah.
He's like, but what if we actually
what
what's
are we
going on?
doing?
Like,
What's
he's not
actually
even-
happening?
So-
He's bristling at the fact that she's withholding information from him.
Yeah.
And clearly that there are other motives that he doesn't know about. But he's also still sort of taking the Empire at its word. Like when she says, oh, there's evidence of outside agitators, which is a classic talking point. That's like, when you disapprove of a protest, you say, well, they were outside agitators. They weren't really affiliated with this group or whatever. This is a classic, like, counterinsurgency tactic to claim there are outside agitators when really there's just like a homegrown protest happening. And he just takes her word for it. There was that other senator who went to sort of apologize to Mon Mothma and was like, they're not even trying to lie well anymore. They're just like blatantly lying, about the fact that there was some bombing or that there are all these outside agitators. They're just making stuff up. They do have this little, the Gorman Front, this little sort of disorganized group of people that are meeting in the basement. But it sounds like they're making up a lot of things to try to make the Gorman Rebellion seem more extreme than it really is. They're saying they're terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
And they're clearly like, no, we should peacefully protest. No, maybe we shouldn't. They're still having their little debates in the basement, and the Empire is saying these are terrorists.
Yep.
And they're clearly not terrorists, so they're being invaded.
Yep.
So there's a lot going on, and Cyril still hasn't fully gotten his head around the idea that the Empire lies.
Yeah, but then they also showed him like begging for the attention of that Gorman woman, and he was like, I needed to see you or something. So it's like, okay, like Cyril's definitely continuing to flip in that way. Like he's he didn't seem very excited about Dedra's point of view, and then
no, he's definitely bristling.
Yeah. And then on top of all of this, every other like there's the whole Bix is, I don't know, like everybody has, this is a year later, so she doesn't appear to be on drugs anymore. Now she seems
pretty stable.
She seems
at
like
this point.
she's kind of gone into like,
Yeah.
nesting, like trying to be normal mode. Like she's not she's just
I'm
not strung
actually
out
a
anymore.
little bit disappointed that storyline didn't pay out more. This whole like she was on drugs, she was going down a dark rabbit hole kind of storyline, and now she seems fine.
Yeah.
It seems like there was a step that we skipped.
A little bit of a
somewhere.
jump there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we did skip a step. We skipped a year.
Yeah.
But it still seems like narratively they skipped a step in there somewhere.
Yeah. And then Cassian seemed very on edge the whole time and very sort of like paranoid.
Yeah.
And, like,
why was he so
grumpy
bothered by this force healer lady?
Yeah. And that was another interesting character. Like I said, it was like we've seen characters before that are they're not force users. Actually, in Rogue One, what's his name? With the stick.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
what's his name? Anyway,
Doesn't matter.
When the Force is with you, the Force is with I'm with one with the Force is with me.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's characters that aren't necessarily Jedi or Force users that are still like understanding of the Force and
are Force sensitive in some way.
maybe not.
And,
They And
Well, and I
that
think,
Force
like,
lady was kind of seemed like
I
one
think
of those.
part of the reason she was so sort of intrigued and delighted to see him was that she actually did feel something. I think what she was basically admitting is that like sometimes it is a bit of a scam. You know, she said sometimes it works.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes it's just a bit of a performance. And with him, she actually felt something immediately when she connected with him. She was drawn to him.
Yeah.
You know,
That's why
and
I
that
was-
freaked him out. He didn't like that.
Yeah, it seemed. That's why I said it seemed like it was one of those like, oh, like the Force is working in mysterious ways. It's doing what it does, and it's kind of like acting on these non-Force user characters. Like Cassian isn't a Force user. This isn't suggesting that he's got the Force. No, it's just suggesting that like he has a purpose.
He has a
in the
place
greater.
in this
exactly.
picture in the big picture.
And that's what that lady's take was basically like he's a messenger.
He has a role to play.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think maybe part of the conflict there is that like Cassian knows that his role is with Luthen, like doing the heavy espionage, and like Bix and them want him to be a leader outside of Luthen. So maybe that was
interestingly
the
is somebody
source of
we didn't
Cassian's
see
conflict.
at all this episode. We did not see Luthen at all during this episode, but we hear that he's still out there.
Yeah.
You know, running his games.
Yeah, and then lastly, Mon Mothma's senator friend gave her a very like veiled warning of like protect yourself.
Yeah,
It was very like
got a
Luthen
target
kind
on
of
your
told her that
back.
too, where it was like you need to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But this time it was more like
They're coming.
I've heard some shit.
Yeah.
Like, and you might be in danger
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
are careful. Yeah. And we actually know this to be true because in Rebels and just in other stuff, it's Mon does kind of like stand her ground and stand on principle, and like the Emperor and them are not happy with her, and she has to go run and hide and actually be part of the rebellion. So yeah, she's not Senator Mon Mothma for much longer. Yeah,
Interestingly, she still has the same driver that she had last season, who she knew was spying on her and listening to her conversations.
Yeah.
And she's held on to that ruse this entire time. That was a nice little tidbit.
I'm excited because I know, like I said, these episodes feel like the water has been slowly coming to a boil. And then, you know, obviously there was that explosive ending at the end of the last arc, and now we find ourselves in this like Yavin. It kind of felt like we're starting kind of fresh a little bit in a mid-season kind of way, like we're in a new location kind of a year later with new mindsets, and there's, you know, Cyril's like hair looks different, and he's you know, every character felt a little bit different. Other than Partagaz. Is it Partagaz?
Partagaz,
Yeah. He, like I said, like they kind of showed him to be a good boss in that like he was giving Dedra guidance.
It took both of us aback, though, when he basically said, calm down.
Yeah, but it felt like it was one of those professional, like, he wants her to get promoted. He wants her to do well.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to see her fail. Like, he sees her as, like, a protege in a way. Or
Well,
like,
and also
as, like,
she's been, like, handpicked by Krennic. So, like, it reflects well on him if she does well at her job as
anyway,
well.
he seemed like a consistent character that's like likable in that way, like where it's like, yeah, he just seems like a good boss. Like he's not like a dick. Like he's kind of, he's also cold and icy in his own way, but he's also there like supporting her professionally.
You've got to wonder like what goes on deep inside her head, because she's only too willing to do any number of monstrous things.
Yeah.
On behalf of her job, on behalf of the Empire. We've known her to be a particular zealot. That's why she and Cyril were drawn to each other in the first place, because they shared a bizarre, obsessive zealotry.
Yeah.
But you've got to wonder sort of how she is internally processing the monstrous things she's being asked to do. Like, what rationalizations does she have to be okay with all of this?
Well, it seemed like the way she was communicating with Cyril, it was her being like, we're going to be out of this soon. Like, we're going to be able to,
we're
put this behind
go
us.
to a tropical island.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
like,
live together in bliss.
Yeah, so I don't know. She seemed like she might be kind of like not straight anymore because she's a little confused herself. Anyway, guys, excited to move on to the next episodes. Would like to hear what you thought about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see the reactions fully unedited and watch along style, go to patreon.com/JediJive. That's where we put them up. We'll see you in the next reaction.
Peace.